Finally, football has come back, and Spitz is back on YouTube. What's up, YouTube? Your boy back once again with another sport topic, and today we're gonna talk some football, Houston Texans football. You already know what it is, baby. You already know what we here to talk about. We about to talk about this training camp, what's been going down. I know it's been a minute, but your boy is back. Let's talk about it. Let's get into it. Before we get into it, like I've been telling you before, if you liking the content, man, make sure you liking the channel. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you watching all the videos. You sharing all the videos on all social media platforms: Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Snapchat, any type of social media platform you use. Make sure you share it on them same social media platforms. Also, like the videos, subscribe to the videos. Make sure y'all comment on all the videos. Man, look at this channel growing and growing and growing. I really, really appreciate that. I know I've been gone for a minute, baby, but football season back, so it's time to get it back rolling. You know what I'm saying? Football season is back. It's time to get back rolling. So we're gonna talk about, we're gonna break it down, the things that we've been seeing during training camp. And I want to talk about more specifically the dynamic of this guy right here. You know what I'm saying? You see number 7. And also his draft mate, receiver, number 13, Tank Dell, and how I think this offense is going to be something very, very special. Now, I know there's been a lot of concerns out there because, you know, the defense has been winning the majority of the days, if not all the days, since they came back from training camp. But I know it took practice 4 or 5 before CJ threw his first pick, and then he ended up throwing another one as well the next day. And, you know, some ups and downs, but that's rookies. You know what I'm saying? I'm really not too concerned on him having some struggles early on. Normally, anyway, no matter rookies or veterans, defenses normally have a leg up when it comes to the offense during training camp, especially when they first come in early on. And this is his first NFL training camp. This is something that's new to him. He's learning a new offense, something he's never done before. So we want to see him bounce back. And it seems like from the information I got about today's practice, that today he did bounce back on Thursday. He actually bounced back, had a great day. Probably one of his best days, if not his best day. Threw a nice, good pass to Nico. Seems like Nico, he's been improving. I know he's beaten Stingley a couple times, and I know the biggest person who's been showing out actually on the defensive side is actually Nelson. Nelson has been hooping every single day. He's been hooping all training camp. We're going to have another video talking about the defense in another video. Today we're here to talk about this offense. And I know people, like I said, people have been concerned about the whole CJ not, you know, the way CJ looked early on. Like I said, I want people to hold your horses. Hold your horses. You know, hold your horses. Pump the brakes. There's no need to panic, because he hasn't been looking terrible. It took him to day 4 or 5 before he even threw his first actual pick, when other guys were out here throwing picks, both Case and Davis Mills throwing picks, not to mention other rookies. And I think over in Carolina they're saying that Wichita's already been named the starter, and he's been doing great, and that's good for him. That's good for Bryce Young and the Carolina Panthers. He's been doing good. We worry about CJ Stroud here in Houston, and I think that, like I said, I think he's progressing where he needs to be. I think he's progressing exactly as expected. Honestly, I think that he's doing exactly what he needs to do. Do we want him to do better? Do we want him to go, 10 for 10 for 500 yards and 4 touchdowns? And absolutely, that's what we want. But that was going to happen? More than likely not. It's very, very rare for that to happen. And if that was happening, my concern is more so on the defense, like what the defense is not doing, or what the defense is allowing this quarterback to do. Now, I think it's actually good. I actually think it's good that he has some ups and flows and some struggles, because it's things now I can go back and work on, like, yeah, I don't need to throw the ball like this. I need to do it this way. I need to watch my drawback a little bit more over here. I need to make sure I'm doing this. Things for him to work on, because if everything is just completely easy, there's nothing for him to work on. He doesn't improve. He doesn't get better. So I do think him having his ups and downs is actually going to help him out in the long run. Again, we're early on in training camp. This is week 2 of training camp, of his first training camp at that. I think things will be better, especially when we do the joint practices. I know we do one against the Dolphins. I think one against the Patriots. I think the first one's against the Patriots, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's the first joint practice against the Patriots. I think we also have a joint practice against the Dolphins. Is it somebody else that we have a joint practice? I can't remember if it's somebody else that we might have a joint practice against. But I do think that that's when we're going to start seeing the actual growth, and we're going to start seeing the actual CJ that we're going to start seeing on Sundays and game days. But somebody who has been showing out from the beginning of the camp is their receiver number 13, Tank Dell, which I'm going to say, okay, obviously, CJ I think was my most exciting, the person I was most excited for that we drafted. You know, I did the video, like there was a live reaction. Well, actually, a live reaction when we drafted CJ, and it's a live reaction on this channel when we drafted Tank Dell. And I had a feeling that we were gonna take CJ. Like I had a feeling that we were gonna take CJ. Tank had no idea. Was hoping that we would take Tank Dell, hoping because I like Tank Dell coming out of U of H, but did not know we were actually gonna be able to get a chance to take him, and we actually pulled the trigger. And it seems like we did. Obviously, we pulled the trigger on Tank Dell. And it seems like he's been out there in camp showing out. He's been showing out. I think when they was doing the punt return drill, he was the only one who didn't drop a pass. They didn't drop a punt. They did the whole thing. I think it's called the Pac-Man Jones drill. When they you catch six balls, but you can't let a ball go. Like you catch a ball, you gotta keep all of them in your hand, and you try to catch all six. He's the only one that did it out of him. Desmond King. Robert Woodson was another receiver or another DB that was back there lobbying, to be a punt returner. He's the only one that didn't drop it. That he's out there mixing people up, doing little stuff, mixing people up like he do. He's very shifting, and he's not as fast. I think Mechie is going to be more of a deep third receiver, more of a faster receiver than him, because also his 40 time is actually a little bit disappointing too. I think his 40 time, Tank's 40 time was like 4.5 or something like that, and you thought it would be faster, but he's more shiftier than anybody. He's going to definitely be the most shiftiest receiver that we have, and a guy who definitely going to be able to change directions at the drop of a dime, able to stop on the dime and cut and turn and do those type of things. And I think that you're going to be able to use him in a lot of different ways. And I know a lot of people were kind of skeptical when we drafted him on how you're going to be able to utilize Tank Dell, because he's a small guy with 5'8", 167, 68, 70 pounds or whatever. So he's a small guy, slender frame. But in the right offense, with the right system, with the right game plan, you'll be able to use him in a plethora of different ways. And I have no doubt that Slowick, especially coming from that Shanahan's offense, the way they use Debo, I'm not saying you're going to use him like they use Debo, because they use Debo in the running game. They put Debo in the backfield and line him as a running back. But just the simple fact of the way that mindset of finding ways to get the ball in Debo's hands, their mindset of finding ways to get the ball in Cooper Kupp's hands with the Rams, their mindset of finding ways to get all these different guys that been in this offense and to get the ball in their hands to utilize. I think Cordell Patterson was in this type of offense before as well. When they was trying to utilize and get him get the ball in his hands as well, and when he was in Minnesota and Oakland and things like that. It was kind of different when he went to Atlanta and got with old dude used to coach for the Titans. But using that type of mindset to get the ball in their hands, I think that they're gonna find Bobby Slowick is gonna find ways to use and get Tank. And from what I'm hearing during training camp, they're moving Tank around, putting him in the slot, moving him outside, doing all these type of things, and not in a gimmicky way either. Not like in a gimmicky gadget wildcat offense type of way. Actually, legitimate offense, utilizing your playmakers and getting the ball in your playmakers' hands and allowing your playmakers to make plays. And then you have a quarterback like CJ who is key on accuracy. Like that's one of the reasons why I said that CJ was the best fit for the Texans once we went this route and got DeMeco Ryans and we hired Bobby Slowick and things like that, because this offense, even though we talk about the run game and how we use the zone run and things like that, one of the key things to this offense is accuracy. You have to be accurate in this offense. One of the reasons why is because they get receivers open a whole lot. Go look at those plays with Andre Johnson. Yes, now some of it is Andre Johnson being the GOAT that he is, but some of them was Gary Kubiak able to get him open, because Kevin Walton got open as well. Jacoby Jones was getting open. Cooper Kupp getting open. Justin Jefferson getting open. Debo, Brandon Ayuk getting open. Like these guys were always getting open, and the reason why is because of the schematics. They were scheming these guys open. When they scheme these guys open, I need my quarterback to hit his targets with precision and accuracy, and that's what CJ can do. And I think because of the accuracy that CJ has, the cut ability and the playmaking ability, I think that Tank has, and the excitement, the electricity, because he's gonna be the electric factor. I'm not saying he's gonna be the number one receiver. I'm not saying he's gonna have 100 catches and 1,400 yards and 14 touchdowns and leading the league and being top 5 in yards and catches and touchdowns. I'm not saying that because it might be Mechie. Mechie probably going to lead the team in catches, honestly. Mechie probably lead the team in catches, or maybe Hutchinson might lead the team in catches. You're talking about possibly Hutchinson or Nico possibly leading the league. I mean, leading the team in touchdowns, or maybe even the tight end leading the team in touchdowns. But when it comes to Tank is going to be able to make those electric plays, those key first downs, those splash plays. I think he's gonna give the offense something very, very electric, and I think it's going to be probably one of the best connections in the 7-1-3. I don't think they just got 7-1-3 just as a coincidence. Like, we know that's the zip code. Like, we know that that's the zip code that's synonymous with the city. We already know this. Now CJ wearing 7, that's a given. He been wearing 7 this whole time. Tank know what he was doing when he picked 13, bro. Tank know exactly what he was doing when he picked 13. I mean, he been in the city for the past couple of years playing at U of H. He know what's up. He know what that means. And I think that's going to be a very, very, very lethal connection going forward in the NFL. And it might be one of his favorite targets. I think the CJ is going to be able to be one of those quarterbacks to spread the ball around. I don't think he's going to have an actual prototypical favorite target. Like, I think he's going to be one of those guys who's going to spread the football around. Honestly, I do think the guy who has the most catches and the guy who has the second most catches is not going to be a huge discrepancy. I don't think so. And I know we can sit here and we talk about that. You know, the receivers as of right now is the weak point of the team. It's more so of an unknown. I don't think that we have a bona fide number 1 receiver. Like, we don't have a dictator to dictate coverage like Dre was able to dictate coverage. Oh, we got to make sure we cover 80. Or Hopkins. Oh, we got to make sure we cover 10. Well, I don't think we have that on the roster right now. Hopefully Hutchinson could be there. Hopefully Mechie can be there. Hopefully Nico can be there. Hopefully Tank can be there. I do think that we'll eventually probably have to go out there and either trade for somebody in the next couple off seasons or possibly draft somebody, like a Marvin Harrison Jr. and things like that. But outside of that, I think it's more so unknown. We don't know about the receivers because Tank and Hutchinson are both rookies. Mechie didn't play his rookie year, and Nico, bad quarterback play in Davis Mills, bad offenses in Pep Hamilton and I forgot his name, Tim Kelly, bad offense, but then also him being hurt, him not being on the field, and then also him having a lot to be desired when he goes out there and play. And it looks like since the training camp has started, being in this new offensive system, catching footballs from both CJ, Davis Mills, even Case Keenum, rotating through practice, that he's been improving. It's having one of the best camps, having his best camp so far in his 3-year career, but having one of the good camps. But like Mechie, he's been like they're saying Mechie's going out there doing well. They're saying Hutchinson is looking good. And like I said, I think the guy who's the most impressive, honestly, to me, is actually Tank Dell. I know a lot of people say that the guy who's most improving is Nico, and I think because Nico's getting a lot of targets, but from also what I'm hearing is a lot of his stuff is really with go routes. He's getting a lot of go routes, a lot of deep shots downfield. But then after that, he's doing a lot of talking to the quarterbacks. I mean, the receivers coach, and doing a lot of talking to the quarterbacks and a lot of talking to the DBs. Now that's good because he's getting information, knowing what he's doing well, what he's not doing well, what he should do, and what he improve on. But you're not really seeing that much from the rest of the guys. And again, like I said, the other 3 guys, 2 of them are rookies, and one is a guy who spent a lot of the year, spent all of the year rehabbing and having cancer treatment in Mechie. So these three guys is this is what they're doing now is new, and this is Nico's 3rd year. But I do think that, because of that, there's really no bona fide receiver. And like I said, I know a lot of people say this is our weak point. It's more so an unknown than really a weakness. So I think that's the reason why people consider it being a weakness, because it's unknown. We outside Texan fans, other fan bases don't know who our receivers is, and then us, we kind of we hopeful, but then we don't know. So it's do we have a number 1 receiver? As of right now, I would say no. We don't have a bona fide number 1 receiver. Like I said, we don't have a guy who can dictate the coverage and make a defensive coordinator and the DB hey, we gotta make sure we cover this guy right here. But in saying that, I do think that we got a lot of talent, and I do think that the CJ is going to be able to utilize his talent and utilize it to the best of his ability, especially with his strength of his game is being precise and being accurate, sitting back in that pocket and delivering the football with accuracy. And because of that, I think that him and Tank Dell are going to have a very, very lethal connection, and they're going to have a lot of plays, a lot of good passes, a lot of touchdowns, a lot of splash plays, and I really can't wait to see exactly what these guys will be able to do. So, like I said, I can't wait to see. I can't wait to these preseason games. Really, most importantly, these joint practices. That's when I think it's really when things are going to be starting ringing up, because these joint practices, honestly, are more impressive and more beneficial than the preseason games. Because the preseason games, us as fans, we get to watch it, we get it on TV, and they're symbolizing, game activity, because obviously you got referees, you got scoreboards, penalty flags and things like that, and calling timeouts. And it's actually because when in a practice setting, they can do a game similarly, but it's not real. Like the urgency, even though they're saying it's 2 minutes on the clock and the scoreboard is this, and we run a 2-minute drill, we know it's practice. Like, we know your mind, your body knows it's practice. Outside, when it's an actual game situation, it's a little bit more different. And you're going up against somebody else. So I think that's different. But these joint practices, because the joint practices is going to be majority of starters versus starters, 1s and 1s, 2s and 2s, unlike in preseason where you might have your 1s in, but they got their 2s in, you might have your 3s in, they got their 4s in, and other guys are getting all these other reps, so it's not really, and then plus, they're not really just giving it their all. In practice, in these joint practices, when they go up against the Patriots and go up against the Dolphins, those practices are going to be very, very key. And I really wish that we could be able to see exactly what these guys can do. Like I said, this is not going to be broadcast. Obviously, the joint practice is not. But I really want to see what those guys do in those joint practices. So, can't wait for those. Can't wait for that to come out. Can't wait for those practices. And like I said, I think this is going to be a very, very lethal combination when it comes to the Texas offense with C.J. Stroud and Tank Dell. I think they're going to make a lot of plays this year. I think it's going to be very, very exciting. But like I said, more videos coming on the way. It's training camp. It's preseason. The NFL season, the 2023 campaign is about to get ready to start. Man, I know y'all ready for it because your boy ready for it too. Like, share, subscribe, comment below if you haven't. Click that bell, get more videos. I'll holla.